914 words, within the 5% target range. Here's the final script. The thirst-hiding reason your kitchen faucet buries a collapsing desert from you, and in 2014, outside Fernley, Nevada, it tore the ground open in a single night, splitting a rural road in half and swallowing the earth beneath it before sunrise. Every glass of water you drink pulls on something buried under Nevada right now. You can't see it, you can't feel it, but the desert is sinking, and it started long before that road disappeared. Nevada is the driest state in America. It survives on water pulled from deep underground, from ancient aquifers packed beneath the sand like a hidden reservoir holding up the whole state. For 100 years, wells have been drained faster than rain can refill them. And here's the part nobody tells you. That water isn't just fuel, it's structural. It's the pressure holding the ground itself together. Pull enough of it out, and the earth above starts to fold in on the empty space left behind. Slowly, silently, without warning. Somewhere beneath your feet right now, that same math is running in reverse. In the Las Vegas Valley, the ground has dropped more than 6 feet since the 1930s. Not from an earthquake, not from a landslide, from thirst. Engineers call it subsidence, a bloodless word for something violent happening in slow motion. As the aquifer empties, the clay layers underground compact like a sponge wrung dry, and they never spring back. Once that space collapses, it's gone forever. The desert doesn't heal. It just remembers what was taken, and it keeps caving toward that hollow point, inch by inch, year after year, while the city on top keeps building higher. Highways buckle, pipelines crack, and in the driest corners of the state, the ground doesn't just sink, it splits. Long, dark seams called earth fissures tear open across the desert floor, some over 1,000 feet long, wide enough to swallow a person whole, hidden under a thin crust of dust that looks solid until it isn't. Here's where it gets stranger. Scientists expected subsidence to spread slowly, evenly, like a bowl sinking into itself. Nevada broke that model. In 2014, near Fernley, a fissure didn't creep, it exploded outward overnight, ripping a gash through farmland and roads with no earthquake, no warning tremor, nothing on any seismograph. One night the land was solid. The next morning it wasn't. Geologists who rushed to the site found something that unsettled them more than the crack itself. The fissure wasn't following the aquifer boundary they expected. It was tracing an older scar, a fault line buried under thousands of years of sediment from Ice Age Lake Lahontan, the vanished sea that once covered most of Nevada. The desert wasn't just collapsing from drought. It was reopening a wound that had been sealed for 10,000 years. That old lakebed is the key to understanding why this state is eating itself. When Lake Lahontan dried up at the end of the Ice Age, it left behind soft layers of clay and silt, stacked like pages in a book, thousands of feet deep in places. That soft ground was never meant to hold weight. It was meant to hold water. For centuries it stayed stable because the water table kept it swollen, kept those layers cushioned against each other. But cities need water, and Nevada's population has exploded for decades, and every new well sunk into that ancient lakebed pulls the cushion out a little more. Now those old clay pages are drying and crumbling against each other, and the fault lines buried inside Lake Lahontan's skeleton are waking up. Satellite radar scanning the valley floor has caught the ground moving in places nobody thought were active, dropping by inches in a single year, tracing invisible lines the state didn't even know it had. The fissures follow those lines like cracks following the grain in old wood. And the deeper the wells go, the more of that ancient grain gets exposed. This isn't contained to one dry road outside one small town. The same aquifers stretch under Las Vegas, under Reno, under the fields that grow the alfalfa that feeds the cattle that end up on dinner tables 1,000 miles away. Every one of those uses draws from the same shrinking cushion. Engineers have mapped dozens of active fissure zones across the state, and new ones keep appearing in places with no history of ground failure at all. Roads get rerouted around cracks that weren't there the season before. Some ranchers have found fissures crossing their own property overnight, deep enough to lose a truck tire in, wide enough that nobody wants to walk near them after dark. The land isn't stable. It's being hollowed out from below, faster in some places than anyone is tracking, and there's no way to see it coming until the surface finally gives up trying to hold the shape of what used to be underneath it. So the next time water runs from a faucet 1,000 miles from Nevada, some part of that ancient lakebed just got a little emptier, a little closer to remembering the fault line it's been hiding since the Ice Age. Nobody knows exactly how many fissures are forming right now, in this moment, under sand that still looks perfectly solid. Nevada has been sinking for 100 years and calling it drought. What happens when the desert finally runs out of room to fold?